Oh, all right. All right. Hello and welcome to Virtual Coffee Brown Bag Edition. Virtual Coffee's mission is to be a welcoming tech community that allows room for growth and mentorship at all levels and to create meaningful opportunities for learning, leadership, contribution for everyone. To find our code of conduct, our upcoming events, or to learn more, please check out our site at virtualcoffee.io. We're really glad to have everybody here with us, and I especially want to thank our presenter, Meryl, for doing this. Meryl Dominguez is an opera singer and budding software engineer, soon to complete Springboard's full stack engineering program. She is drawn to solving real world problems with elegant tech solutions. She's working on a props management app for OperaHack 2.0. Oh, that's pretty cool. And is looking forward to making the theater a more equitable, diverse, and accessible place. So without any further ado, I will turn it over to Meryl. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Hi, all. First of all, I just want to say I'm really grateful for the virtual coffee community. It's hard shifting careers, as many of us have done that. You know how tricky it is, and to feel really welcomed is a wonderful thing. I was trying to figure out a way which I could contribute back to the community, and a lot of people have expressed anxiety about public speaking, which is a necessary thing in the tech world. You give talks at conferences, you have to present your code, you have to whiteboard. And I wanted to help people feel more confident when they have to do such things. Things I would like from today. I would like participation. If I'm suggesting an exercise, turn off your microphone and try it. Make weird noises. I want everyone to feel as unself-conscious as possible. So just bear with me and try making the strange noises. It will help you feel more confident. I would like people at the end of this to not feel like they got it and that they're done with the process, because it is a process, like every new skill we learn. I want you to feel like you have the tools to work on it yourself. You have some exercises to say, I'm feeling really tense and really tight. How can I relax, drop my shoulders, and try to regulate my breathing and get back into a good zone where I can keep talking. And I want people to have fun. This is supposed to be weird and out of your comfort zone, so have as much fun as you can. First thing today, I want to say that everybody needs this. This is the most efficient way to make noise from our bodies. If you think about babies, babies can scream and scream and scream for 14 hours straight, and they never, ever lose their voice. I see possibly some parents who are nodding in the in the chat. So this is the way your body was built. Proper coordination of muscles and accessing acoustic spaces in our heads. The purpose of voice lessons is to optimize the performance of our body's ability to communicate, which is the ultimate point, right? We're not just making noise to make noise. We're making noise to properly communicate, which is more than just the words we say. It's how we say them. So I want everyone to be a little bit more flexible in just like, it's not what I'm saying, it's how I'm saying it. The second one is to command other people's attention. Speaking this way is a charismatic way of approaching people, and is more likely to have people listen to you. If you're speaking really quietly and timidly and on a vocal fry, unfortunately for women especially, people tend to discount people who speak like that, especially in professional settings. So we're going to give people tools to be able to do both. If you walk into a room of really, big guys with suits, you're going to want to speak in a more commanding way. So we're going to work on that. And this is also to reduce your own stress when presenting. Everybody is stressed out with presenting. I get stage fright. I've been doing this for 12 years, and I still get stage fright. If you don't get stage fright, something is wrong. Everyone is nervous all the time, and that's fine. The people that are good at it love the adrenaline, and they get used to the adrenaline. You just have to dig into the nervousness. But there's a point at which the nervousness and the adrenaline starts preventing your body from functioning properly. So we're going to try to find the sweet spot of like just nervous enough to have the right energy, but not too nervous that it makes us really anxious and like we don't breathe properly and that type of thing. So I would like you to think about how you currently breathe. Have you ever thought about this before? I'm guessing those of you who have done yoga have thought about this. But have you brought your yoga breath into your real life? Have you brought it into when you present or speak in front of people? Just like mull it over for a second. If you've never thought about it before, think about it now. So you're sitting there. I see a lot of people are sitting there kind of like with normal posture. Mike, I'm looking at you. Sorry about that. Um, you know, how do you breathe? How far does your breath go? How does your neck feel? Like, are you crunched in the back? Or you have this kind of like curve here? No judgments. None of it is good. None of it is bad. Just think about it. And then we're going to move into how you are actually designed to breathe. So I have three anatomical diagrams here. We're going to just touch them. You don't look too closely. You don't need to know all this stuff. The first one is a side cut. Sorry, Kirk, I didn't mean to also call you out. You have your video off, so. Side cut of the head. So this shows the sinus cavities and all the space we actually have in the middle of our head. That is the acoustical resonance space that I was talking about. And if you can see the tongue, if that's that kind of like ball of tension and knot in the middle of the jaw, it goes down and attaches to the only floating bone we have in our body, the hyoid bone. I know, I'm sorry. The amount of tension that people hold in their tongue and their head and their jaw when we get nervous is really kind of amazing. And that's my biggest thing when I say this is not going to be accomplished in a day. You spend your whole life being like, why am I holding so much anxiety in my tongue right now? So just be aware of that. The next is a side cut of the torso, including the spine and the diaphragm. Your diaphragm, actually, all the way up here, it's much, much higher than we thought it was. You know, everybody says, oh yeah, breathe from your diaphragm. No, your diaphragm is up here. And when you inhale is when it does its work. It contracts and flattens. So we're here, exhale, inhale. And it actually pushes the intestines and viscera in your belly torso area out. That's one of the first hurdles in proper breathing, is that people say like, oh, I'm like, you know, working on my abs. I want to look thin. I want to look a certain way. Our bodies are not designed for optimal aesthetics. That is not the point of this. You know, if you're speaking on Zoom. Nobody can see your belly. Let it go. Try to let it go. And the last one is the leg muscles and how they go through the hip. If you can see in the diaphragm is attached to lumbar 3-4. The hip flexor is also attached to lumbar 3-4. What this means is that when your hip flexor is tight from sitting all day, every day on those Zoom meetings, it is pulling on the vertebrae that your diaphragm is attached to, preventing you from breathing properly. So the first thing I want to do, if people are okay, I want everyone to stand up. Whoever feels like they want to stand up can stand up. And we're just going to do like little lunge hip stretches. So let me back all the way up. See, I warned you guys about this though. So we're here. I'm going to stand to the side so you can see. I'm not going to go very far. The whole point is not to like hit the ground in your lunge. I'm going to put one leg back, make sure my knee is over my ankle, and press this hip forward. I'd like to have my hand here to just kind of feel a little bit of stretch and kind of straighten this. I want to feel the stretch all the way through this hip. It's not going to be super intense. This is the antidote to sitting all day. I'm going to do this one for a little bit. And you guys stay in the same place. I'm going to show you my hips to stay equal here. You don't want one to be up and one to be down. We want to try to stay as equal as possible. And try to lean, if you're feeling comfortable, try to lean to either side and see what you feel shift. And let's go to the next slide. So once again, we're going to try to keep this knee, the front knee, anchored over the ankle and pull up through this side while keeping these hips flat. If you're into yoga, this is it, right? We've done all of the warrior poses This is warrior 1, I believe. I'm getting some nods. Okay, I don't really remember. Yeah, right, you have to, but we don't need to do hands right now. It's just a matter of feeling your hips. All right, let's come back. Because if that hip is tight, it's going to prevent the diaphragm from being able to contract fully, enabling you to inhale and let things go. So keep that in mind. The next one, we're going to talk about inhalation, exhalation. Remember, inhalation is the active act of breathing. Exhalation is passive. Everyone thinks I go, and it comes in, and then I go, no. Inhalation is active, and exhalation is just your body letting go. So I love this GIF, whatever, because it's timed exactly right. So let's all try to do it with the GIF together. So get ready to breathe in when it turns to a point, and breathe in. So one of the reasons I love this little image so much is that it shows that the speed at which breathing happens throughout the inhalation is not constant. It changes. The rate at which you inhale is not constant. There are nice little pauses at both ends. And that is because your body needs time to regulate oxygen versus carbon dioxide. If you inhale and exhale without any breaks, let me go back so we're not watching that while we try to do this. I want everyone to take like a few breaths without any pauses. So what do you feel? I'll talk about my own physical response is that exactly, we hyperventilate. My heart starts to pump a little bit faster. I can feel my shoulders kind of come in. I feel unsettled, uneasy. That's because we are slowly hyperventilating. So we need to make sure that when we're speaking, we don't rush through everything, which is everyone's first anxiety instinct, right? If I'm talking, I'm going to make sure I get all of my information really quick, and I want to make sure, and I don't take any time in between my breathing and my speaking to let my body relax and regulate itself. So I'd like to take one more time to do this inhalation, exhalation exercise with everybody. Just watch the little video. And while you guys keep doing this, I want to say, try to keep some tension in mind. Are you holding your stomach in? Are you holding your shoulders up when you breathe? Try to keep as low and relaxed as possible. So I'm going to back up, and you guys keep doing these deep breaths, remembering to take time at the apex to relax. So we're here, we're going to inhale. And I can feel my ribs expanding in the back as well. You know, your back is not just like a plank, right? We have curve to our spine, and our spine responds to the motions that we have. What is your chest doing? Is your chest rising and falling? That's fine. No judgments, just observe it. Can you relax your shoulders more as you do this? Where are your hips? Are your hips swayed back like this, like you're kind of sitting down in a chair? Try to have them sit a little bit farther forward. Think about that hip stretch we did. All right. Does anybody have any like immediate responses that they want to type in the chat that we can address? If somebody's like, I hate that. Yeah, losing all the precious tension I've grown to know and hate. Right. The problem is we live with our tension daily, and it's hard to not live with it. We accumulate it and keep it, and there are very few times where we can let it go. So it's not good, it's not bad. All of this is as judgment-free as we can possibly get it. So the next thing, breath ercise. Yeah, exactly. Our stomach's always, we can always let that go a little bit. And when you exhale, naturally, it comes back in. It can. So for these exercises, we're going to start making some weird noises, so bear with me. We're going to start with in, 2, 3, gentle pause to hold and re-regulate, and then hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and just let it keep going as long as you need to. The point of the exhalation is not to force all of your air out by 8. It's not to hold on as long as you can and make sure you're only letting a little bit go. It's to see the pace that your breath would like to be released at. So we're going to start with like a TS, like a snake, like is everybody, does that make sense with everybody? Thumbs up? All right, cool. So I'm just going to count. I'm not going to do it. I'll demonstrate it, and then we can all do it together. So we're going to go, yes, we're going to make the sound only when breathing out. Exactly. So we're going to go. If you want to stand for this, it's probably easier to be doing this while standing. You can sit if you're going to sit really well, but that's really hard to do. I prefer to do this while standing. All right, so everybody ready for this exercise? I'm gonna count you in. I'm gonna count 4 before we start. So 1, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out. Until you're done. Let's try it again. And if everybody can focus on taking a better, deeper breath. Because the first thing we do when we think about, okay, now I need to make noise, is that we go, and we take a terrible breath. So let's try this again. I'm going to count you in with 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep going as you feel until you're done. All right, did everyone get a better breath that time? We're going to try this exercise with like F. And this is harder. You have to use more air for F. So you're not going to go as long. It's not a judgment on how you're doing, whether you can go longer or shorter with this. So let's go again. 1, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. I'm usually out by 8 on that one because F is really hard. It lets out a lot of air. So think about the difference. If you contract your abs, is it normal or are you forcing it way out? Your abs will contract. That's part of it. Think about whether or not you are consciously pulling your abs in or if it's happening naturally. So let's try again, one more with F, and then we'll move on to shh. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, think about the difference between tss and pff. Now we're going to go shh. This one I feel, I feel much more strong in my abs because shh is like a more of a contraction. You have to have like a little bit of force behind the shh. But when we do that, we're going to do a tension check and make sure we're not like and squeezing, something we don't need to. So 1, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, shh. Mike, I see you did a little bit of like a wiggle there. Was that a like, I'm trying to keep this going for as long as possible wiggle?
No, I was just moving around a bit.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
totally fine. I just wanted to make sure that you weren't like shh, trying to keep going for
No,
longer.
all good.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So think about the differences between those and how your body feels and try to get a lower breath each time. So now we're going to go to z, v, and zh, which are voiced, meaning that when we use those consonants, our vocal folds, vocal cords, vocal folds, same thing, actually have to come together and vibrate. So this is the beginning of speech. So we're going to take our breath for 4, hold, and then out on z. Make it as buzzy and annoying and nasty sounding as possible. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Z, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 until you're done. Keep going. This one will take much longer. While you're doing this, Orly, I see you going zzz. Can we go zzz and be? Yeah, my dog hates these exercises. Um, Try to relax your face and make sure you're not holding your jaw. You don't want to be zzz, zzz. Tap on your face to see that like you're all chilled out as much as you can be while still making the sound. So let's try again. 1, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Z, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever you can go to. All right. We're moving on to V. So throughout all of these, just feel the difference in how your body responds to each one, how long you have, and how connected you feel to your breath. Because if one of them you're like, oh, I hate this one, you don't have to do it. You don't have to ever do that exercise again. But the ones that you're like, oh, I feel super grounded and amazing, save it. Save it for when you're really nervous right before a presentation. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out. That one is very hard. It's similar to yeah, exactly. It feels you should dig into the feeling of liking the resonance and like coast on that. So now we're doing zh. And so it's the voice version of shh. If people can try for a second, shh, zh, shh, zh, to just feel the difference in the resonance as you go. All right, we're gonna do the breathing part of that. I'm gonna count you in with 4. We'll inhale for 4, hold for 4, and then out as long as you can in a non-metered way. You're not pressing it, and you're not trying to hold it in and let it go as long as possible. Whatever feels natural. 1, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever you can go to and feel good about it. All right, so these are some of the breathing exercises that I do. It connects the actual phonation to the breath, because ideally we're doing this so we can feel confident with public speaking. Tension check. How are your shoulders feeling? Are you tucking your chin in when you're doing this? Are you jutting your chin out when you're doing this? How are your hips feeling? Just making sure. Now we're going to make even weirder noises. So I do want to say that these are going to be pitched. The pitch says nothing about your gender. any qualities or qualifiers of your gender. It's not supposed to sound good. It's not supposed to sound pretty, masculine, feminine, normal, anything you can imagine. It is just noise. That's really hard to separate yourself from. I personally used to think that I was much higher pitched and I would speak like this. And it changes as you get older. It changes even once you think you are fully grown. Your larynx is composed of a bunch of cartilage that hardens at different points based on hormones. Your larynx will change when you're 65. So don't be set in the way that you sound, because it's going to change. We're going to try to just focus on breath with these. So the first one is aha. And it's ah. It's a little clicky, the sticky one. Ah, ha. So one sticky and then one ha. And that sticky one is ah, 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 ah. It's called a glottal stop. So everyone try ah, 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 ah. Ah, 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 ah. So it's aha, ah, ha. So when we do this, find a pitch that's comfortable for you, play around and see what feels good. And we want to have this be as anchored low as possible. It's not aha or aha, right? Because both of those take me out of the focus and the balance of resonance and breath. So everybody try it. Let's go. Aha, aha, and try to have it, send it out. I know everyone's partners and people who are sharing their workspaces are like, what are you doing? Just go with it, go with it. Aha, aha. Try that one. Play with that one. See how it makes you feel. If you're like, aha, drop your shoulders. Take a deeper breath. Aha. The next one we're going to try is wow. And you need to have a kind of a ooh before it. So it's wow. The whole point is the change between ooh and ah. So it's small to big. Wow. And you can hold a W. I know that sounds a little weird, but you have an ooh behind the W inside your mouth. So do the same thing where we're going to send it out. So we go, wow. Yes, absolutely. The exercises change in other languages. Let me think in French. I can't think of a French one right now, but I'll message you. I'll message you some French ones. Yeah. This next one everybody knows though, because everyone has heard an ambulance or a fire truck at some point in their lives. So we're gonna go wee 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 wee, and you want to slide in between the two, and think about how much you have to move your jaw. Do you have to move your jaw for that? Wee wee wee, beam bomb, beam bomb. It works with whatever language you're in. Try it out. Try beam bomb. Let's do beam bomb for Orly. Beam bomb, beam bomb, beam bomb. It works. Think about how much you have to move. Do you have to move that much? Try to do it with a little bit less movement. Beam bomb, beam bomb. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee. And once again, try to send it out. We're trying to take deep breaths and anchor it low. Beam bomb, beam bomb. I know I'm not, my nasal vowels aren't so great anymore, but great. So those are, that's ooh, that's the fire alarm. The next one for the parents in this crowd, wah, wah, is not supposed to sound good. It's supposed to sound like a baby's crying. Baby is screaming. We're gonna really kind of find the brightness in our faces, Like when Kirk was talking about how the resonance, the buzzy resonance feeling, we're going to go with that. So take a deep breath. Wow. That's totally fine. If you're in an office right now and you're like, I don't feel comfortable making this amount of noise, watch the video later and scream to your heart's content and make sure that you like can really dig in. You don't have to do it loud. Wah! Wah! Just make sure that you're still sending it out. The like energy of the sound that you're making is the same, regardless of the volume. It's just easier to feel when you're like really loud and going for it. So these are some noise exercises that you can try. Let's do another little tension check. How am I feeling? Wah! I know that when I do the baby cry, I feel my jaw kind of hinge and clench. So I'm trying to like, wah, wah. Yeah, check in with your shoulders. Glenn's got a great idea. Just like check in with your neck. Make sure when you breathe, you're not wah, because then you'll get stuck kind of up here. The problem with human bodies is that everything is attached to everything. So if one thing is tense, it's going to pull on everything else. So we want to make sure that we're just checking in with all the little different parts and everything is happy as can possibly be. So with that, I want to say that all of these strange exercises contribute to you being able to have the tools to feel better and more confident about yourself. If you can stand in a room and make weird noises by yourself or for your partner or for your pets, then you can stand in front of people and make noises that you know how to make. This is like a point of getting out of your comfort zone in order to expand it. And we have to be gentle about that because we're all very delicate on the inside, you know? So be patient with yourself. It's not going to happen tomorrow. But if you are feeling anxious before a, I almost said performance, a presentation, take a deep breath, do some breathing exercises. Make sure that you are speaking on your voice. Women in particular tend to either go a little bit like this with a vocal fry, or they tend to really lighten their voice. And both of those take away the energy of your communication. Men tend to get a little growly as well, or like a little bit like this, kind of deaden, and they get rid of all of the wow resonance that we found here. And so it might help to think like, I'm going to be a little bit brighter today. Brightness is directness. We want to make sure that we are communicating not only with the words that we say, but in how we say them. So that's all my exercises and stuff. I want to hear if people have questions or if they want to do an exercise. If people feel comfortable, they can do an exercise in front of people. Yeah, Glenn wants to do one. Great.
Oh, I have a question.
Oh, you have a question? Oh, okay. I got excited.
But I will do one. I'll do one.
Sure.
But I had a question about saying a lot when I'm speaking. Any pointers for that?
Slow down. We say as a way of biding time because often our mouths speak faster than our brains come up with words. And it's a matter of taking time for breath. You're probably rushing through and not letting your breath regulate itself in your body. There are those pauses that we did. I know that that helps me. I still we all still It's just part of speech now. But in order to have fewer of them and feel like what you're saying is more direct, then I would slow down. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, cool. Any questions? Any more questions? I know that this is like a weird topic for a tech group. How often do I do these? Every day. I do these exercises every day as part of my like voice practice. But if I have to give a talk in front of people, I warm up. So this is part of my warm up. I'll do some gentle stretching. I'll do these voice exercises. I'll go through, you know, everybody does like, okay, I'm checking to make sure I say these things. You have to do that. But you can't do that in a rushed anxiety way. Otherwise, you will be rushed and anxious when you do it. Sorry, my Zoom for some reason is not showing names. I think Vanessa?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
Courtney's got her
Vanessa.
hand
We
up.
have
Or
Courtney.
Courtney, I'm sorry. I couldn't see who.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering if you have like a resource, like a list somewhere that are, or if the slides would help, just like for something to do before, like, so you have like a
Like a
kind of
checklist?
plan. Yeah, like a plan to do like before a stressful situation, like an interview or something.
Yeah, sure,
For those.
absolutely. I'll compile the exercises into a checklist and post it on the Slack.
Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. Um, should you be doing voice exercises? I mean, you don't have to. If you feel confident in your public speaking and it doesn't make you as anxious, then you don't have to. But they help me a lot. Um, it helps me feel like I'm more present and in the moment because often we can find ourselves like, you blink and the whole thing is over. And that's not the point. You want to be able to enjoy it as much as hopefully the people that are watching you enjoy it. I'm laughing at Glenn's comment. I kind of like it when it's over. Well, teach their own. Is there a difference with virtual communication? I feel weird listening to my voice with the headphones. I like listening to your own voice, Vanessa? Yeah. So the reason that we don't like the sound of our own voices is that the voice you hear through the inside of your head to your ears is different. The recording is without the benefit of any of the bones in your head talking to your ears. It's just the sound going into somebody else's ear. So it's going to be different. It's not that it's bad or weird, it's just new. So it's something you have to get used to. If you can turn your own microphone off so you can't hear yourself, that's lovely. I'd do that.
Thank you. I just found it weird, like when I was doing the exercise, sometimes I have to take it out to listen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because this blocks the noise, so
Totally. It's different. Yeah, try it without the headphones. Try it with the headphones. I have these little headphones that are like bone conducting headphones, so they don't actually block my ears. I prefer those because I don't like the noise blocking. Adrenaline dissociating through public speaking. Yeah, that for me, that's when the scale tips too far into adrenaline and not control over my own body. And I don't enjoy that. People that really do enjoy public speaking have an addiction to the adrenaline. That's what it comes down to. And you too can learn to have an addiction to adrenaline. So, problem solved. No, I didn't say that. Never mind. Are there any more questions? If people have individual projects coming up that they want to talk about, I'm more than open to hear you do it like a session. So just DM me on virtual coffee, and then we can play around. It'll be fun. I will make you make weird noises. I'm sorry about that. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah.
I said I'd do an exercise if you want.
Yeah? Are you still willing?
I'm still willing.
All right. Which one was your favorite?
Ooh. The guttural ones were interesting. Guttural sound. Ah, ha.
Aha.
Ha. Aha.
So when I hear you do that, I hear that you're starting at a lifted place.
Okay.
So you're going, ah, ah. Can you drop? Feel like you, ah, ah, ah. There you go. That's better. That's better.
Ha.
So try to bounce it. So, aha,
Aha.
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 Yeah. So I hear you go, ah. The ha is closing. So you're going, aha. Let it bounce free.
Aha.
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 Yeah. Put some
Aha.
feel like you're excited about it. Aha.
Aha.
There you go.
Aha.
That felt a little bit more grounded from the beginning
Okay.
and actually has some emotion behind it, which is the point of communication. So try that one. Can you go ooh-hoo?
Ooh-hoo.
Yeah.
Ooh-hoo.
I feel like ooh is inherently more anchored in you. What do you feel in your shoulders when you do the ooh?
Oh, that's a tough question.
Yeah, no, totally. You don't have to answer it. Just think about it. So
I
try
was thinking
aha.
more about, I was just focusing more on kind of the feeling in my throat that's different from a ha and an ooh.
Yeah, totally.
Ooh. But
Let's try aha, ooh-hoo, and think about how it changes in your shoulders and across your chest when you do that.
okay. Aha. Ooh-hoo. I mean, there's definitely a different kind of position and resonance in my chest, I felt.
Yeah.
And the was like a lower resonance, and the ooh was more up here.
Yeah. It's not wrong, it's not right. It's just what your body is feeling at that moment. And if you start to like just kind of dig into the experience of doing these exercises, you learn about your own system, which is different than every other person's system.
Yeah. And I
So
just
when you
realized that
good.
because I was thinking about this whole situation, I forgot to take the deep diaphragm breath.
Let's try does everyone want to do this exercise with us? Let's do an aha oohoo to I guess close us out for the day. Yeah, whoo. Orly, do your shoulders go back or do they go forward? They go back?
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I don't know if you guys know this, but your shoulder blades are not attached to the back of your body. Shoulder blades are attached to the front of your body through your clavicle. Exactly. Shoulder blades do not ever attach to the back of your body. They are floating on your back. And so when we think about shoulder blades moving back, that's our chest like pushing forward. Just know that and feel why you're experiencing that. So we're going to go all together, aha, ooh-hoo, and see what happens. But we're going to take a good breath first. So ready? Aha, ooh-hoo. I felt my throat kind of clench on the ooh. Ooh is very hard for me. I know that about myself. I prefer ah in general. So I can say if I'm doing a speech that has lots of ooh vowels in it as part of what I've written, I need to know that like ooh makes me tight, right? I might want to like check in on myself if I have to do this, if I have to recite a poem or something that has a lot of ooh in it. Think about it. You have to know your own body's pitfalls. Thanks for being willing to do some exercises in front of everybody, Glenn.
Wow. Thank you, Meryl. This was really awesome. I don't know, I had a blast. Aside from I'm just like paying attention to my shoulder blades, like, and trying to figure out where they attach, and it's confusing me. But no, this was great. This was really, really great. I think everybody, at least that I could see, was having fun. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you to everybody who came and participated. As always, check out virtualcoffee.io for further events, and the Slack. We can maybe Meryl said she's gonna follow up a little bit with some links and stuff in the Brownbag channel, so we can kind of touch base back there then. And if there's nothing else, thank you all very much, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again, Meryl.
Yep. Bye.